Words of Elders, Part 6. Today's video is titled, No One Wins Alone. Isolation is an eternal enemy. A single broomstick cannot sweep the floor, only a bundle can. A lone wolf may be fierce, but without the pack, it faces inevitable defeat. You will either rise with others or fall in isolation. In the grand game of life, nothing is more dangerous than standing alone. Power flourishes in partnerships. Strength multiplies in numbers. If you want to rise, learn to master the art of alliances, or be prepared to be defeated. No one rises to power alone. No empire is built by a single pair of hands. The world's greatest leaders and most successful individuals share one truth. They did not ascend to power in isolation. They forged alliances. They leveraged the strengths of others. They understood that success is not a solo pursuit, it is a collective effort. If you think talent alone is enough, you are already on the path to failure. Many brilliant minds have been buried in obscurity because they underestimated the value of partnerships. Even the sharpest sword cannot wield itself. Even the brightest star cannot light the sky alone. Why isolation is a fatal weakness. A lone warrior may win a battle, but they cannot win a war. The most powerful kingdoms, corporations, and movements throughout history were built on the foundation of collaboration. Those who tried to hoard power or cut themselves off from others found themselves isolated and vulnerable when the storms of life arrived. History does not remember those who stood alone. It remembers those who stood with others and led together. When you refuse to share power or build relationships, you create the perfect conditions for your downfall. Green emphasizes lessons from history with examples in his book, 48 Laws of Power. Those who stood alone fell first. 1. Zhuge Liang's fatal mistake, Three Kingdoms, China. Zhuge Liang was a genius strategist, brilliant beyond measure. Yet his downfall came not from a lack of intelligence, but from the burden of isolation. He tried to control every decision, to bear every responsibility alone. His failure to delegate power drained him until exhaustion claimed his life. Meanwhile, his enemies thrived because they knew how to share power and multiply their strength through alliances. Intelligence without collaboration is a slow path to ruin. 2. Louis XIV's grand strategy, France. King Louis XIV for France understood that power is safest when shared strategically. He built a web of spies, loyal nobles, and trusted advisors who protected his reign from threats. His power did not rest on his intelligence alone. It rested on the many hands working tirelessly to uphold his authority. He knew the secret: to stay strong, you must give others a reason to keep you strong. The art of building strategic alliances. Power does not favor the strongest or the smartest. It belongs to those who understand the value of relationships. If you attempt to do everything alone, you will burn out and be swept aside. But if you form strong strategic partnerships, your influence will expand effortlessly. Identify your allies. Surround yourself with people whose strengths complement your weaknesses. Share power wisely. Give others a stake in your success, and they will protect and advance your cause. Think long-term. Short-term gains from isolation will never outweigh the lasting strength of a united front. The lone wolf may survive for a season, but the pack thrives for generations. The tree that stands alone falls easily in the storm, but the forest holds firm against the winds. Never forget, isolation is weakness, alliances are strength. If you want to rise and stay strong, abandon the illusion of self-sufficiency. Build your power by lifting others, and you will never stand alone when challenges arise. In the end, no one wins alone, and those who try lose everything. Much more than all these, always endeavor to hear every story or news from both sides, from both the conqueror's side and the conquered side. There's an African proverb that says, "Until the lion learns how to write, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter." This proverb reflects the idea that history and stories are often told from the perspective of the powerful or the victors. As long as the oppressed or the disadvantaged remain silent or lack the means to share their side, the narrative will always favor those in control. This means, 1. Whoever controls the narrative shapes public perception. Without the lion's voice, the hunter appears brave and victorious, but the lion's suffering or strength remains untold. 2. It is important to give a platform to those who are often unheard, ensuring a more balanced and truthful version of events. 3. There is need of critical thinking. Most often, the stories we hear are often one-sided and may overlook the experiences of others. And 4. Those who are marginalized must learn to tell their own stories, to challenge dominant narratives and claim their truth. Whether it's personal experiences, history, media, or even social justice, without hearing directly from the oppressed, history often paints conquerors as heroes rather than invaders. 2 are better than 1. A threefold cord does not easily break. Build your alliances wisely.